Hello everyone, welcome back to another session of Dark Souls PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I'm using the Dragon King Greataxe, and I gotta say, I had a bit of difficulty getting used to this thing at first, and as strange as it sounds, that R2 attack, the area of effect that it has, that actually threw me off and sort of gave me a hard time getting used to the weapon. But once I did get used to it, I really started to like this thing. So yeah. Now, getting started with the weapon, it has a weight of 24 units, it has a physical damage of 570, and that 570 is set. That is just predetermined, you're not changing that. And the reason I'm saying that is because the weapon does not have any stat scalings, it's got nothing. You need a total of 50 strength in order to wield it, and you actually need 8 dexterity too, but I don't think there's anything with under 8 at the starting levels, so that's really not too much of a concern. It has a durability of 400, and that durability is decreased by 50 points every time you use its two-handed area of effect attack. Also, if you notice, under my health and stamina bars, there's a little blue shield with a up arrow. That up arrow, when this weapon is on, is showing that you have an extra 20 in your magic and your fire defense. So that's helpful, I guess. It's not too much, but hey, it all helps. Also, this weapon can in fact be buffed, and the area of effect is affected by the buff. And what that means is, say you use a buff that increases damage, your area of effect attack will do more damage. Or say, like me, you're using a rotten pine resin, that area of effect attack will actually cause poison buildup like they were hit normally. So that's kind of cool. Now, getting started with the pros and the cons of the weapon, number one pro, in my opinion, that area of effect. That R2, it's so good, it's so helpful, and you can really create some pretty nasty combos with it if you are meaner than I am. But that being said, I am pretty mean with this thing sometimes. I think later in the video I end up like two-shotting a guy. Yeah. Oops. But that's really the biggest pro of the weapon as far as I'm concerned. I already talked about it a little as far as putting buffs on it. It's got a huge reach to it, and that R2, that area of effect, pancakes people. And I'm pretty sure it's a guaranteed pancake. I'm not positive on that. Actually, I am positive on that. It's not a guaranteed pancake, because later in the fight I fought someone who used the Havel shield buff, and they were not pancaked. So, it's not a guaranteed pancake. But that's okay. Anyway, other pros of the weapon would include the typical Greataxe class pros, being the good stun lock, stamina damage, poise break, all of that good stuff, and good damage output, of course. Now, I'm pretty sure that's it as far as the pros are concerned. The cons, on the other hand, there really aren't too many, and the area of effect that this has actually takes off one of the typical Greataxe cons. Now, the typical Greataxe cons usually include slow swing speed, slow recovery time, what's the word I'm thinking of? It'll come to me when I get back to that con. Slow swing speed, slow recovery time, decent amount of... what's the word? I can't remember it. It's going to make me feel really stupid when I do remember it, but anyway, I'm just going to move on right now. So, yeah, that pretty much sums up the cons, I guess, except for the one I just remembered. Short reach. The word was short. Ugh, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Ugh. Slow swing speed, slow recovery, short reach. And the one that the area of effect gets rid of is the short reach, because, I mean, it's an area of effect, right? Can't believe I forgot the word short. Ugh, man. Guess I'm more tired than I thought, huh? Oh well, it happens. So, really, this weapon is pretty good, and the ability to dead angle that R2 and still pancake people is really entertaining. And that was a good fight I just had right there. I really liked that fight. I was so mad. I remember I rolled away from from the parry, and then I went back in trying to smack him, and then he parried me, and just, ugh. It's one of those moments where you just sort of look skyward. It's just one of those moments where you do that, and you're like, why did I do that? And then I killed him with a firebomb, so hey, it's all good. And this is the fight where I was talking about, where I fought one of my friends who was using the Havel's buff. So this buff gives you essentially unlimited poise, and he was not pancaked, so that sort of leads me to believe that no matter what you do, as long as you have this buff on, you cannot be pancaked, which is pretty good. That's definitely a good thing. And right there you can see you got a nice amount of damage on that R2, 846. This R2 attack can cause a massive amount of damage, but on the other hand, it can cause a relatively low amount of damage too. I don't know exactly what it is that affects it so much, but I have a feeling that it's got a bit to do with poise and if you hit them with the hammer and the axe. Because, well, the reason I think it's got to do with poise is because it seems like it can hit the person twice as it goes through them. I know for a fact that the Dragon Greatswords R2 can hit the person twice as it goes through them, and I have a feeling that this is the same way. So that could be why it did 800 some odd damage to him. But earlier in the video I hit someone with the axe and the area of effect, and that did even more damage. So, I don't know. It's kind of all over the place, but for the most part it's at least 700. So it's a pretty strong attack. I really enjoyed using this weapon. It was definitely nice for a change, and I'm really happy I picked it up. Right there you can see I hit 328. It's the same person too, so I don't know exactly what's going on with the damage output, but oh well. So yeah, getting back at it, and everything else I should mention, well, there's not much time left in the video, so I should start going over the pros and cons again to quickly recap. And that right there, that little combo, love that. As they're coming up from the roll, just smack them down again. So good. But anyway, typical pros of the weapon would be the typical Greataxe class pros and the area of effect. The typical cons of the weapon would be the typical Greataxe cons minus the short reach. I remembered the word this time, guys. I remembered it. I'm not going to forget it again. You know, I can really see why my name is a joke on my memory, or about my memory. Sometimes I forget why it is, and okay, I'm sorry. Bad jokes. I'm done. This is the last fight. I'm just gonna go here before I make any more bad jokes about my memory. Sorry. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry for the bad joke. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and that good stuff. See you next time.